but you're a man in a dress. Okay. Fine. I would point out to you that people are not the most reduced version of what you're comfortable with. People are not the reduced version of them that you have in your head. People, we're tricky. We have our own ideas and our own self-expression and our own experiences that guide us toward our truth. And I am non-binary. I am not a man. I am not a woman. And you didn't use the word just, but people often say you're just a man in a dress, right? How many people know what it feels like to be told you're just something, as if all of their humanity and complexity could be boiled down to your idea of how the world should work? I think it's kind of selfish of you.
What did you say? And
I am non-binary. I am not a man. I am not a woman.
What the f does that even mean? I don't even understand what that means. That sounds like some bullshit to me.
Now, the only thing I'm going to say about that first clip we just saw is shame on Jeffrey for deliberately trying to confuse these young people into believing you can be something other than a man or a woman. And I think that's part of the reason we see so many young people these days identifying as dogs and cats and such. And that is in no way conducive to a functioning society. Anyway, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for joining me. So I have a fairly crazy Clown World update for you guys today, and as usual, we have absolutely no time to waste, so let's get into it. Now, if you place your attention on the screen for a moment, so this portly balding fella is Delilah. Now, Delilah is a biological man that identifies as a trans woman and calls himself a transbian or trans lesbian. Now, Delilah posted this photo in a trans woman support group subreddit. The caption says, I recently transitioned and I'm very self-conscious about my looks. I'm wondering if anyone has any good tips to help feminize my appearance. What?
Stop being a girly man.
Let's keep this party rolling with everybody's second favorite paid establishment shill, Harry's boyfriend, Chris. Now, it's been a week or so since we've heard from either of these two guys, and I like to check in with them every now and again to see what they're up to. Now, the thing that gets me the most about this clip, besides Chris's face, is that he says he was a guest speaker at some event. My question is, who the f*** would want to listen to this kid speak anywhere? I have trouble getting through these TikToks. Roll it.
I'm at Georgia Tech in Atlanta at an event promoting a Gen Z candidate for Georgia, a Democrat fighting against the far right. I got this super sick sticker. It says Pro-Row 1973. I was a guest speaker because I do shit on this app. You might notice one thing though. Chris, the day you have an event like this, the day you're going to be a guest speaker, there's going to be cameras in your face. Don't go play golf in a backwards hat with no sunscreen. Let me tell you something, okay? This looks so... If you don't vote for Democrats down ballot in 2024, I'm going to freak the hell out. I want you to know. Right now, we have abortion on the line, democracy on the line, climate change on the line, and the guy running in the Republican Party right now has been found liable for abuse, liable for defamation again, indicted again, indicted a third time, indicted a fourth time, found liable for business fraud. He is running right now for president to stay out of jail. So, you know who hasn't done any of that? Joe Biden. So vote for him.
What did you say? What the f did you just say?
Let me tell you something, okay? This looks so... If you don't vote for Democrats down ballot in 2024, I'm gonna freak the hell out. I want you to know.
Are you retarded?
All right, next up we have this Joe Biden voter who uses the term chest feeding instead of breastfeeding because inclusivity or something. Roll it.
Hi, if you want to keep using the word breastfeed, by all means, go ahead and do that. I'm not stopping you. However, non-binary people, trans men who lactate, using the word chest feeding or human milk or body feeding, whatever you want to use, makes room for them. And that's something that I want to do. I am not going to stop you from saying breastfeeding. That does not trigger me. However, when we say chest feeding, it defeminizes and desexualizes the word. It simply comes from your chest. So therefore, it makes room for more people to do so.
That's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard.
Now, this next clip is very, very interesting. So this person who is a biological man that identifies as a trans woman says that TERFs, or trans exclusionary radical feminists, I think that's what it means. Anyway, this person says that TERFs are in a QAnon-like cult. Not people like the fella on the screen here are in a cult, it's the TERFs that are in a cult. Really? Roll it.
I'm back from hiatus because TERFs are being fucking weird in my account. They're stitching videos and commenting on things from 6 months ago. I just wanted to remind everyone that TERFs are conspiracy theorists. They literally believe that there is a conspiracy broadly in the medical community to silence anyone who is critical of trans issues. Not because they're wrong, but because there is a influential group of trans activists that are silencing them. That is full-blown conspiracy theory QAnon bullshit. And they're aligned with people like QAnon, so it makes sense. Their community also has other harmful aspects that are similar to cults. They make up definitions and use their own lingo that only they understand. There is no disagreement or nuance allowed. It is not a healthy environment to be in. And everything that they say about trans people, that they're brainwashed, that we have an agenda, blah, 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 they're all projecting.
Can you repeat the part of the stuff where you said all about the things? The things?
Their community also has other harmful aspects that are similar to cults. They make up definitions and use their own lingo that only they understand. There is no disagreement or nuance allowed. It is not a healthy environment to be in.
Don't be the kettle calling the pot or the pot calling the kettle.
So that person literally just described the trans community, but thinks it's the TERFs that are in a cult? Okay. Anyway, next up, so this fellow who identifies as a non-binary person is going to talk about how he treats his friends. And let me remind you, Dylan is one of his best friends. Roll it.
My friends are my lovers. I don't practice a relationship model that sees romantic love as more than friendship love.
I love that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So for me, I treat my friends like people would treat their romantic partners. We're going out on dates. We're taking vacations together. We're making life plans together. We're sharing resources. And what that's meant for me is that I never have to fear being alone.
Man, you are one twisted fuck.
So this next clip gets kind of loud, so you might want to turn your volume down just for a minute. There's a bizarre song that's about to come on. But this yellow-haired person says, Neopronouns I really like. Woof, woof self, bite, bite self, ender self, rain, rain self. Roll it.
Hey, my mental state is not really good, but here's a song about funny hats. Funny bunny hat, a funny froggy hat, a funny bunny hat, a funny froggy hat, funny bunny hat, funny froggy hat.
What in the hell was that all about?
All right, next up we have this young lad who is a biological man that identifies as a trans woman. Now he's at the mall and he thinks all these guys walking by looking at him are interested. I can assure you, they're not interested. Roll it.
So I'm just sitting in this massage chair, and these guys that just walked by, those ones back there, they were looking at me hard. So hard. Should I follow them and see if they're interested?
But yeah, what do you guys think of my fit? I'm just like strutting around the mall, being a baddie, like, all the guys are looking at me. I'm just like, kind of like, dang. Oh my gosh, this guy keeps circling around, and he's pretending to be on the phone, but he's trying to get closer to me, but I'm kind of running away, so like, oops.
What are you, gay?
Hey, real quick, before we go any further, I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video. And while I'm doing that, we can all watch this lovely lady get some sort of makeover, I guess. Anyway, today's video is being brought to us by a great friend of the channel, Coda320. Coda320, once again, and as always, sir, thank you so much for your kind words, generosity, and support. It's always greatly appreciated. And I know I say this often, but Coda320 is one of those people that keeps my faith in humanity alive, and right now that's needed more than ever. So once again, today's video sponsor is Coda320. Now, if you'd like to sponsor the next video and help support the channel, there is a PayPal link in the description box below, and I will say your full name as a sponsor of said video unless stated otherwise by you. All right, I think we've all seen enough of this. Get this off the screen, please. Oof.
Why? Why would you do that to yourself?
Now, since we saw the Baltimore bridge collapse the other day, the Baltimore mayor, who is a black man, has made a bunch of TV appearances, obviously. Now, he doesn't seem like the brightest star in the sky, so a lot of people are saying he's a DEI hire, or diversity, equity, and inclusion hire. Well, that's upset a lot of people, including this young lady, who now say that if you call someone a DEI hire, it's the same as calling them the N-word. However, anytime I talk about Mayor Pete Buttigieg, the transportation secretary of the Biden administration, I call him a DEI hire, and he's white, so sorry, that narrative ain't gonna work. Roll it.
White folks need to stop with this DEI this and DEI this. Just call me it like your ancestors did. Just call me it with a hard R and we can move on. I can beat your ass, move on about my day. Because at this point, all these folks are talking about the DEI mayor of Baltimore. How he was elected with over 70% of the vote, and it is a majority black city. A white person getting in office in Baltimore would be DEI. So we hear DEI this and DEI this. DEI is didn't earn it. DEI is it. Just call us the N-word. Just say it with your chest. Channel the spirit of your ancestors and just do it at this point, because y'all look a mess. And that's the thing with racism is they're not scared to be racist, because they're obviously being racist with these terms that they're using, but they just don't stand on business and say it with their chest. And they should do that. I'm just tired of seeing it. And especially the guy who's on Twitter talking about DEI this and DEI that. Like, his mom is... And people keep bringing up his mom, and he's like, why are y'all bringing up my mom? Why are you being racist and expecting people not to tell you to go dig your mother up?
What the hell did you just say?
And that's the thing with racism is they're not scared to be racist, because they're obviously being racist with these terms that they're using, but they just don't stand on business and say it with their chest.
I'm not racist. Every Martin Luther King Day, I order a cup of dark roast.
All right, guys, we're going to be wrapping it up with this clip of Joy Reid, the race lady on MSNBC, talking to Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott. Now, listen to what he says at the end of this clip. Some people are taking it as a veiled threat towards white people, so there's that. Anyway, things are clearly getting very crazy out there, guys, so please take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Till next time, love you guys. Peace. Roll it.
Or Mayor Brandon Scott. I will allow you, Mayor Scott, if you choose to do so, to respond to the tomfoolery and attacks on you for having the nerve to be black and also a mayor.
Well, I think, listen, I know, and we all know, and you know very well, that black men and young black men in particular have been the boogeyman for those who are racist and think that only straight, wealthy white men should have a say in anything. We've been the boogeyman from them since the first day they brought us to this country. And what they mean by DEI, in my opinion, is duly elected incumbent. We know what they want to say, but they don't have the courage to say the N-word. And the fact that I don't believe in their untruthful and wrong ideology, and I am very proud of my heritage and who I am and where I come from, scares them, because me being at my position means that their way of thinking, their way of life of being comfortable and suffering, and while everyone else suffers, is going to be at risk, and they should be afraid, because that's my purpose in life.
Say what?
And they should be afraid, because that's my purpose in life.
Are you threatening me?
And you ain't black.